We're going live in 3, 2, 1. Good morning and good evening, everybody. You're listening to the Midnight Radio Podcast, an experimental radio show hosted by yours truly, Log In with Yzzy. Today's rundown is quite interesting. We're going to start with an anecdote about starting the year with purpose. I know, it's February. We're 1 month into 2021 and so much has happened already. But do not fear, we've got some lively tunes, original music covers from my friends in the UK, so stay tuned for that. We'll also be diving into some written and spoken poetry, ending with a media coverage on what I've been binging and whether you should too. So kick back and relax and make sure to stream this radio podcast in your background because all of this will be live. But first off, let's talk about the weather. Currently in Penang Island, Malaysia, we have seen the hottest season yet. Now, I haven't spent Chinese New Year in Asia since 4 years ago, and I completely forget the heat wave that comes with it. Seriously, I am so thankful that I have the blasted AC, whereas in London, England, I heard that a week ago, the capital saw its first snowfall in years. Heavy snowfall, in fact. So heavy that I am so jealous looking at just all of the Instagram stories where people are going to Hyde Park and making snow bears. Now, I don't know if snowmen have gone off season or if snow bears were always a thing, but it was so cute to see families of bears all over the parks. Snow bears, who knew? So you'll walk along the park and see skeleton trees, not bare but fluffed with snow and frost. And it truly paints a picture of sweater weather and a hot dark chocolate under covers. With that being said, here is an absolute jingle from my good friend Zoe and his original song, Come Inside. Enjoy.
Know what I'm doing, but I'm doing just fine. Nothing on my mind, yeah. Lying hopeless, I'm still breathing, just to pass the time. If boredom was a crime, oh, then I'm a prisoner, confined. Put my energy aside. I'm not looking for adventure, I'm just looking to survive. Please don't carry me outside, I don't need the sun to thrive. Serotonin, so 2005. Come inside and baby, we can vibe. Wait up, up, wait up, up. Wait up, up, wait up, up, wait up, up, wait up, up. Come inside and baby, we can vibe. Wait up, up, wait up, up. Wait up, up, wait up, up, wait up, up, wait up, up. Come inside and baby.
Shoes off, kick the covers and sleep the night away. Get up, toss around and dream about those days.
Dream about those days.
We don't need no beaches, baby.
You can be my babe,
We're just four palm trees swing to the music.
and that's what I call a holiday.
We're just swinging left and right, not a single care inside.
I don't need no aviators, I just need a PS5.
Doesn't matter if we die, we have 17 more lives. You can be my player tonight, so
Come inside and baby, we can vibe. Wait up, up, wait up, up. Wait up, up, wait up, up, wait up, up, wait up, up. Come inside and baby, we can vibe. Wait up, up, wait up, up. Wait up, up, wait up, up, wait up, up, wait up, up. Come inside and baby, we can vibe. We can vibe. It'll be alright. Come inside and baby, we can vibe. We can vibe all through the night. Come inside and baby, we can vibe. Come inside and baby, we can vibe. We can vibe all through the night. Come inside and baby.
Come Inside, performed by Zoe and his friend Chloe. Now, I first saw Zoe performing in a university musical, actually. He attends the University of Warwick in the UK, where I did my bachelor's, and now he's continuing to pursue music as his hobby, which I will definitely link in the description below. However, now we come to the anecdote part of the radio podcast, where we talk about setting a theme for the new year. Now, I know a lot of people set up multiple goals or even bucket lists, but I would like to invite all of you to have a manifested theme for the entire year. Just a single one which declares your intentions for these coming months. And to all of the new audience members coming on the Instagram live right now, hello, welcome. You are joining the radio podcast, so stay tuned or say goodbye. Feel free to do whatever you want. Now, where were we? Yes, we were talking about having a single manifested theme for the entire year. Now, when I first started university, my single theme was wrapped in a single sentence. This was such as, shoot for the moon and take every opportunity there is. Now, while that gave a ton of experience on my CV and portfolio, I actually did 9 productions in a single year. I was completely burnt out. Last year, my goal was to finish well, and I was so glad that my academic years were happily concluded, especially in the midst of online learning in 2020. This year, however, I wanted to dedicate 2021 for the goal of grit, the theme of perseverance, to not be lazy and procrastinate as I usually do, but to go forth and work hard for what I want. I've always seen myself as a person who has a knack for learning new things, except physical activities. But for others who may feel like they're not particularly good at a certain thing, or quote unquote have no talent whatsoever, this is for you. But first, let me tell you a story. Okay, this story keeps inspiring me over the years about this friend I knew in high school. Now, just checking the Instagram. I will stop the Instagram live right now because this is way too much pressure. And now, there we go. Where was I? Yes, let me tell you the story that keeps inspiring me over the years. And this girl was my high school classmate, and she was this little 5 feet tall Spitfire from, I like to say, Texas? If not, I am so sorry, but she was a girl you know. Let me repeat myself. This whole radio podcast thing it is uncensored. If we mess up, we'll go again. So where was I? I was talking about my classmate. Yes, she's this girl who's from Texas, but she was the kind of girl that you know that didn't really have a single thing associated to them. Now, what I say is that when growing up, usually people think like, oh, Jason's a basketball player, or oh, Lyra is an awesome singer. For this girl, she was known for more of her personality. You know, a sharp, independent girl with big dreams and likes to take care of people. Now, some people may not feel satisfied or perhaps feel discouraged when they seem like they're not good at a certain skill when surrounded by people who are attached with what they do. So when this girl decided to try out for our drama team, mind you, this was my territory in high school. I was the drama queen, and if you came into my territory, good luck staying alive. Nah, I'm just kidding. But, you know, it was interesting seeing her set her mind into something, you know, like joining band class when she never tried an instrument before, or trying out for drama where for all 3 years of her high school before senior year, she did not get any roles. But it was senior year, and I saw this girl set a goal for herself. She embodies grit. You know, this girl did not have a talent whatsoever for music and drama, and believe me, I am saying this from an objective point of view. It just wasn't there. Sometimes we have to face reality, and I'm not saying that in a mean way, but for example, I have no talent for sports, and I am okay with that. But although everyone was kind of wondering why she would join the music and drama club at her final year of high school, she literally blew us out of the water in the second semester. What she did in the first semester of senior year was practice her instrument every day during lunch by herself, practicing scales and introductory music sheets, and I would often see her after school as well, just, practicing by herself. The same for the drama auditions. In the first semester, I saw her audition, and to my young, immature, naive self, I thought she'll never make it. Like, she just wouldn't. But in the second semester, I saw her. But in the second semester when we were both auditioning for major roles, I was taken back. I was in school shows ever since freshman year, and major roles at that. And this girl that I saw who never earned a major role, especially since her audition in the first semester of her senior year, her last year in high school, she nailed her audition with a maturity of acting I just haven't seen in a while, even with myself. What I learned from her friend was that she would practice in front of the mirror every day for an hour, looking at YouTube tutorials, etc., and she would just practice. Now, there is this uncomfortable feeling when perhaps you, as a lazy, talented person, not saying me, but a talented person who perhaps doesn't give them their best, but rely on their receptive ability to produce work, would feel threatened by a person who has no talent or perhaps 1% talent, but instead gives her 200% in everything she does. It truly admits the quote, 10% talent, 90% hard work. And this was shown in the grit of this girl I knew in high school who proved to me that if you set your mind on anything, you can achieve literally everything if you put in the hard work. Her mental strength when everyone was talking behind her back, whether she knew it or not, did not stop her. And I always saw her at the gym as well, and she would run 10 km every day. Small fact, it's really random. But she was actually nominated against me for the final year award of the best performing arts student in school. It doesn't matter the result, but it was her journey that really inspires me to this day, and whenever I'm lazy or procrastinating, I would think to myself, in friendly spite and motivation, what would she be doing now if she was in my position? Well, I haven't kept in contact with her since graduation, but from what I see on social media, she is flourishing with a kind heart doing what she loves, which is motivating and inspiring others in social work. So that is my goal for 2021, to have grit, to persevere, to not procrastinate, and to, pour in hard work into something that I truly love. I've been blessed to be able to do things that I've loved, to take a break and not find a 9-to-5 job. I'm doing freelance right now, but, I just want to hone in my talents and utilize my skills to create something that I really love. And with that being said, I will see you after the break. This is a cover by the lovely Enora of ADIEU Mon Amour by HATIK.
Hier soir, le feu a coulé sur tes lèvres, sur tes pommettes les larmes ont ruisselé. Ton sourire a refait la grève, ton tiguurr a besoin d'une grève et tu me vois désolé. Mais t'as souffert autant que j'en ai souffert, les années passées on s'est bouffé. T'avais tu me l'aurais offerte, mais moi je l'aurais étouffé. Ah, rien ne peut rattraper le temps qu'on a perdu. Donc je me vidais toute la nuit, je vais réveiller toute la rue. Je t'aime autant que tu me dégoûtes et tu me dégoûtes à la mort. Pourtant on s'était dit, on s'aime toute la vie, on se quitte à la mort. Des milliers de rêves ont volé, le ciel nous tombe sur la tête. Je descends les marches de la mairie, j'entends mon petit cœur au cimetière. Il y en avait nous, il y en a pris nous, et cet avant-goût nous me laisse un arrière-goût amer, amer. Et ma madre m'a dit de recoller les mots cassés, ouais je reconnais, j'ai pas été parfait, je suis désolée, mais c'est le cassé, on peut plus décoller, je suis désolée. Adieu mon amour, c'en est fini de nous. Je vois ton regard vitre de l'autre côté de la vitre. Adieu mon amour, c'en est fini de nous. Tu vois mon regard vide de l'autre côté de la rive. Adieu mon amour, c'en est fini de nous. Je vois ton regard vitre, de l'autre côté de la vitre. Adieu mon amour, c'en est fini de nous. Tu vois mon regard vide, de l'autre côté de la vitre.
That was sung by the lovely Enora, her cover of Adieu Mon Amour by HATIK. Enora is this beautiful girl with tendrils of curls like golden sunlight wrapped around a chopstick. That's how delicate and curly her hair is. She usually has ruby red lips and a drowsy, endearing eyes. See, I first met Enora in a different situation actually. She radiated bad bitch vibes when she was dancing in a K-pop cover. I forgot which one it was, but she was slaying it with this don't get in my face attitude. And so I knew from here on then that she was something great. And I didn't know she did music, and so she's just a talented beast, you know. It was really cool. She's a lovely person, so do check her out. That was a cover by Enora. We now come to the artsy section of the radio podcast where I will read aloud a chosen poem for this week, and it is called I Know You Will and I'll Send You a Sticky Note. 2 poems by Euan Thum, a junior in my university days. Let's go. Just calm yourself, you know, as I bring up the poems right here. The first poem today we will call I Know You Will. I'm actually reading this for the first time in a while. Okay. I know you will. Tell me you'll be there when I'm off chasing my dreams and you're chasing yours. You know you have my support. I'll sing you a song, a lullaby for you to remember. Show me you're one I can call when I need a company in the midst of books, brolly weather, and corporate luncheons. We're young, and time is all we got. So I have you in photographs, your smiles in wooden frames, your chuckles in my memories. One day, when lines trace our cheeks and foreheads, white streaks in our hair, backaches and bellies, would you remember the time we spent beneath autumn foliages and on spring meadows? I'll smile whenever I think of these fragments of our youth. Tell me, you will too. I know you will. Second poem, I'll Send You a Sticky Note. I'll send you a sticky note, reminding you of the moments we spent, laughing off dirty jokes in our lives with no aims. May the words I wrote on a tiny strip of paper leave a mark or a lasting stain on the coat you bought online, the expensive-looking outfit I wish to have too. I'll send you a sticky note, one day when, if we no longer talk, I hope it will then give you flashbacks to the secrets we shared and the getaway trips we had or made. May its neon colors brighten your gloomy impression of me. If clouds ever shade our town, just saying, as a precaution, if anything ever happens. I'll send you a sticky note, regardless of the genre of our theater show. It's a memory of something I find pleasant to keep. It's my wish you find it well too. May my handwriting remind you of pure innocence and the teasing passion of camaraderie. I pray no one has to lose anything to keep. I never really know how to speak recent poetry, but somebody once told me that poetry was meant to be spoken aloud. Euan Thum says in these poems he tries to capture his raw thoughts when he's touched by something or people around him, and anything he simply thinks that are beautiful, kind gestures that celebrates friendship, love, and kinship that should be valued and kept well. He thinks that poetry is a great reflection of growth and honesty and its capability of capturing moments of epiphany, and as much as the poet is willing to open up in his heart. So Euan Thum is a bachelor's economics student. He's preparing to be a central banker, but he hopes to pursue side careers in the creative arts. He is currently working on his manuscript of poems, hoping to publish it in the UK, which we wish him good luck. Thank you for sharing your poems this week, Euan. Now, to end the radio podcast, we shall talk about what I've been watching/reading this week. We all know the hype on Bridgeton, the Regency show, commended for its brilliance in historical sets and costume, that there is even talks of writing a musical about it, trending on TikTok. Some have also noted it as a show where you can watch without its plot. Safe to say, this is not a show meant to be watching with your parents. However, the reason why I want to bring up Bridgeton today is because, curiously enough, a lot of male audiences have spoken to me saying how they find the Duke frustrating for his rakish playboy ways. Now, this surprised me well because, as a female reader of female fiction that surrounds this trope of pretend boyfriend and girlfriend with the bad boy and the sheltered girl, to have a protagonist who seems to have a lot of knots on his bedpost, that this trope was normal. I also didn't find him to be as arrogant as many of my male friends depict him, which might be problematic, stating that rakish Regency dukes will always be rakish Regency dukes. But of course, the sheltered English rose changes his bad boy ways. Why is it that male audiences find the Duke so unlikable, and that his reasons for not marrying were crazy? As for me, I was able to empathize a lot with the Duke and understand his point of view very easily. Is it because of the fiction I grew up in, female romances, and that boys today don't really read these kind of novels or aren't as exposed to this character trope? I don't know. I just found it very interesting, as many of the male friends that I have say that they despise the Duke and that his reasons were unjustifiable, whereas many of the female audiences were okay with that. Food for thought. Do let me know what you think. It is definitely a series worth binging in a day, and I would recommend you, if you just want something light and fluffy, do mind where and when you watch it. That was my very bad accent impression of Lady Whistledown to whoever who actually watches Bridgerton, and I will stop the accent now. Now, I'm sorry to disappoint you if you're looking for serious book recommendations or self-help books or non-fictional books to improve your life, because I will dedicate this section on fictional books, which I argue will impact your life in some way or another. You know, sometimes it's nice to escape into an imaginary world and simple over characters. A work of fiction that might tickle your fancy is if you are fans of Money Heist or Lupin or fantasy Arabic realms. The Six of Crows duology is for you. Coming to Netflix in April 2021, I believe, is the show Shadow and Bone, written by Leigh Bardugo, which is an entire trilogy of the same title by itself. But the director of this Netflix series has cleverly incorporated the Six of Crows' beloved characters into it as well. Why should you read Six of Crows? Well, it's about this gang of thieves in this cutthroat world where magic lies dormant in certain people. It involves a boy, a wicked orphan mastermind, who always carries his cane and wears gloves. One may think it's because he doesn't want to dirty his hands with the blood of criminals he vanquishes, but it's an entirely different reason. It involves a spy called the Wraith, a girl of color who worships the gods for protection, a flirty sharpshooter, a beguiling woman who relies on her magic to survive the gangs around her, and a captain, Captain American-like soldier who can't seem to make up his mind whether he loves her or hates her. This is Kaz Brecker's crew, all on board, as this book is one I have constantly reread ever since it came out in 2015. Now, that concludes our radio podcast. I do hope that you like this new experiment, and comment below if it works for you or if you'd like to see something like this a bit more. I hope to share a lot of my friends' music, so if you know anyone who would like to participate or explore their music, I'll be happy to feature them here, or poetry, or anything. With that being said, let me end today with another cover by Enora, The Scientist by Coldplay. I'll see you guys next time. Log out.
Tell you I'm sorry. You don't know how lovely you are. I had to find you. Tell you I need to. Tell you I set you apart. Tell me your secrets. ask me your questions. Oh, let's go back to the start. Running in circles, coming up tails, heads on the sides apart. Nobody said it was easy. It's such a shame for us to part. Nobody said it was easy. No one ever said that it would be this hard. Oh, take me back to the start.